Hey loves, I just realized it was way too close. So I am sending this video just to the 17, 18 of you superstar directors in our organization, and I will not take up much of your time, but I just want to kind of share something that's on my heart that I think might bring a lot of clarity to our leadership positions. And I think a place that maybe we can do a little bit better as a group organizing and moving forward. So, I actually have just been in the process of helping restructure expectations and roles for some of our volunteers at church. And the other day I was looking at all of it and I looked at Brian and I'm like, this is what I need to do for my leaders. This makes so much more sense. So, I spent some time last night and today looking through all the levels of leadership: superstar director, star director, director, and then looked at superstar consultant. And I started writing out just like, what should the expectations for each of those areas be? And what is that role specifically? Since he doesn't give us a very concrete example of what that looks like, provide expectation recognition and support, right? Okay, that's not all that helpful. And then when it comes to breaking down levels and leading your leaders, the question becomes, how far do we go? When do we stop? What does this look like? So I put some expectations in place, and I basically just wrote up a structure from superstar consultant all the way to superstar director and what I think those expectations should be and how we can break that down and create more manageable systems and leaders who feel equipped to lead and who have a very clear vision of what their leadership should look like. For example, Sarah Thomas and I sat with one of the directors on her team today in a strategy session, just walking through the pieces of her business. And she's a director, and I said, here's the deal. Your job as a director is to lead your team and to develop future leaders. And while I know that that's not anything that's not astoundingly new information, it puts language to something that we can start to use across the board. Lead your team and develop future leaders. I was looking at superstar consultants and thinking, how do we appropriately equip them and empower them to start to lead now, so that when they get to director, we're not just throwing everything on them. So anyways, I went through and did a ton of just my thoughts on expectations. I'm sending you there's some notes in this email. But what I would love, love, love for us to do is for as many of us as possible to hop on Zoom as a collective group of superstar directors and talk through this. I want your thoughts on what you think those expectations should look like, what language you think would be good. And then going on from there, what it does is it creates accountability within us as a group. So that one of the things that I've struggled with, and you guys know, is just because you're a superstar director doesn't mean that you feel called or equipped to do that, to lead in that way. Maybe you don't feel equipped, maybe you just don't want to, whatever it looks like. And so as a default, I have taken care of all leaders for far too long, or attempted to take care of all leaders for far too long, and it hasn't been the best practice, I think, in my mind. So what this will do is, as we create expectations for each role within our organization, then we can hold each other accountable to those. And if you come to me and say, you know what, as a superstar director, I don't feel equipped to do that, or I don't really feel called to do that. Please still be recording. Okay, good. Or just saying, I don't really feel called to do that. Then that gives us some language where I can say, okay, I can step in and help you with that. Or I can step in and start to lead some of your leaders, or whatever it looks like. So I just want us to create a manageable system. Who is at my house that makes more sense? What I would love to do, first step, is if you can at all be on live on this Zoom just for superstar directors, please, please, please join us. I want your heart. I want your voice. I want to understand. I don't care where you're at in your business. I don't care how sold out or not sold out you are, wherever you're at. If you could join us, it would just help me get some perspective and help us all be able to put in our 2 cents and create a language around this, that we can then cast vision on as a group of leaders leading leaders. And then we'll start walking through, what does this look like for star directors? What does it look like for directors? What does it look like for our superstar consultants? And all of the things. So I'd love for you to join me if you can. I totally understand if you can't, we will record it, but the more people we can have engaged live, I think the better perspective we'll get, the better voices we'll get. So anyways, I love y'all. I cannot wait to see your faces and chat and just really like dig into this conversation a little bit more. And I'll talk to you soon. Maybe if I know how to turn this off. Nope. Y'all, I don't know how to turn it off.